somewhere else, but this is where we found ourselves. Welcome to the local show. People you work with, people you know.
Welcome to another edition of the local show here on GrassRoots Community Network. I'm Erik Skarvan, your host. Welcome back, guys. We just had a nice little break last couple weeks. Hope you guys are having a great spring. Well, soon to be here this week. So excited to have a first-time guest. She works at Susie's Consignment Aspen and so much more. I want to welcome to the show Jeannie Walla. Welcome, Jeannie.
Well, thank you very much, Erik. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's about time we had you on the show.
I'll say.
You've done so much. You've been a local for so long, so accomplished.
Thank you.
And it's an honor to have you, so thank you for being here.
Delighted to be here.
And we want to give a shout out at the start of the show to Marley Reagan, the owner of Susie's.
My boss.
Your boss.
My boss.
So we're going to give her an extra sweet shout out.
Please, please.
And Marley's awesome, and we're going to talk about her obviously during the show.
I love Marley.
Isn't she awesome?
Loved Susan. I just was working with Susan today.
Susan Harvey.
Susan Harvey.
Oh, who's such
who
a
is
gem.
Susie.
Yeah.
And it's funny when you work at Susie's. I don't know if this happens to everybody who works at Susie's, but it happens to me frequently, where somebody will say, "Are you Susie?" And sometimes I say, "Yes." Yeah.
You just
now
roll
behave
with
yourself. Yeah.
Just so you can take control of the situation.
Exactly.
Like the owner.
Uh-huh.
That is
but
awesome.
sometimes I say, "No, I'm not Susie." And they say, "Well, you act like the owner." And I said, "Well, Susie isn't even the owner anymore."
Right.
So, no, I'm just
Depends
a
on the
dedicated...
situation, right? Sometimes you may want to be Susie. And
That's what I'm saying.
You got to be
Sometimes
adaptive.
you got to tell them, "Yes, I'm Susie," and the answer is no.
Right.
But
so you've been working there about 9 years or so now?
Yep.
About 9 years.
And the transition with Marley was extraordinary, and even Susan will tell you that.
Right.
And there are people who haven't even recognized that there's a new owner. It was that smooth a transition.
Wow.
And I don't think there's another business in Aspen that was sold where the person who sold the business came to work for the new owner.
That is unique.
And we just love it whenever it's a day when Susie's there.
Well, let's dig into that. First, let's get to know you a little bit. But I want to dig into like what makes Susie so special. It's like the family, basically.
No, it's like Cheers.
Cheers? Okay. It's more like Cheers.
Yeah, because in your family, you have a lot of secrets.
Right.
Not at Susie's. We know more than most women's husbands.
Oh, ooh, okay.
It's a very interesting dynamic.
Right.
Guys go to a bar and tell the bartender everything. That's how Susie is for women.
Right. And people have said my name when I walked in, like Norm. They
Yeah.
go, Erik. It's kind of like, there's a little crossover there.
We do know a lot of people's names.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, let's go back a few years.
Okay.
We mentioned you worked at Susie's now for 9 years,
Uh-huh.
but you've been in Aspen for how long? When did you first land?
1974.
74.
And
oh my
sometimes
God.
when
So
I tell
50
people,
years.
sometimes when I tell people that, Erik,
Oh my.
I add, "My mother brought me in a baby carriage."
Right. Exactly. I was only a few weeks old.
I was just a few weeks old.
No idea where I was, what was going on, but
Don't ask me about Howdy Doody Show, Romper Room. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Don't ask me about original episodes of I Love Lucy.
Well, there's a million things we could talk about, if we're going to go back to that era. But what are some highlights, through the years of, your careers in Aspen? And
Oh, my
you've been
goodness.
performing. And tell us a little bit about some of those highlights.
Well, I worked at the Crystal Palace.
Amazing.
And I did that for 11 years, including a bunch of years of being the manager, which was an interesting dynamic. And I got to do so many fun numbers.
Wow.
So you have to go back in history. Like, I did a song, because I could do the English accent. So I got to do a song about Lady Di, who then became Princess Di. And the woman who wrote the songs just kept updating. And then I'm going to marry Prince Charles. And then every time I was pregnant, I had a new update of the song to sing. And I had short blonde hair and an English accent. I got to do Dr. Ruth
Oh my gosh.
Because I could do a German accent.
Oh my.
And we created a costume because I don't know if you remember Dr. Ruth, but she was
for sure.
tiny.
Yeah.
So I had this set that was a desk that I could fit into and stand there. You know, I walked the set on, and then I had these tiny little stockinged legs hanging over the edge.
Oh, perfect.
And I was in the blouse of the costume.
Oh,
it was pretty funny.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
So you have to play these like iconic characters and have so much fun with that.
Exactly. It was so.
And then Mead Metcalf, of course, the owner, is a legend.
What a legend.
That you got to work for.
And I'm getting to celebrate his 92nd birthday in the middle of April.
Oh my God. So how does a gal, and now the Crystal Palace closed.
Right.
How did you kind of ultimately transition to Susie's? Like,
Well,
how did that
was-
kind of develop?
Susie's was always, when I had a show here, Susie's was my go-to costume headquarters.
Okay, all right.
And when I,
For the wardrobe?
yeah. And I had a whole thing, you know.
Kind of ensemble?
Right. And it was
Okay.
like, you know, wardrobe furnished by Susie's. And you see the exterior. And it was when the store was on, not Main Street, on...
Oh gosh, what was that?
What's the next one over?
Not Hopkins.
Yeah,
Hopkins,
Hopkins.
yeah.
You know, it's a sign of a true local that they don't know the names of the
I know.
streets.
I had to go kind of deep to get Hopkins. Deep dive. You're right.
Thank you.
It's kind of where the old used to be. And
Exactly.
Then, and then there was that spot. And
Yeah, I have a friend who calls it
2 blocks from Waco or whatever.
I have a friend who calls that archaeological geography.
Okay. Oh gosh. Geography. There
It's
you
like,
go.
okay, so you remember where the right?
Right,
Remember where
right.
Tom's Market was?
Oh,
you know,
yeah. Oh,
all kinds
yeah.
of stuff like that.
So the old Susie's location, and then were you a shopper there initially, or how did you kind of get turned on to
Oh yeah,
Susie's?
I grew up in New York. I've always been into consignment.
Okay.
So yeah, I get it.
That was like a good fit for you.
It was
And
perfect.
then you started working for Susan Harvey, and
Right. And I lived through the transition with Marley. And you know,
Yeah,
Marley worked at Susie's from the time she was a teenager.
right.
And her sister worked there. And her mother worked there.
So
the
back
old-
to that family theme again.
Exactly.
A little bit there. Yeah.
So the only person that in that family that didn't work there or hasn't worked there yet is her dad.
Which ain't gonna
But-
happen, right?
Yeah.
Because like guys don't work there.
The game, yeah.
It's kind of like the thrift
It
shop.
ain't over till the fat lady starts singing.
And we're gonna talk about the no guy thing, but we're gonna take a quick break
Okay.
because I want to. Okay. Well, anyway, we're gonna take a quick break. I think guys should be in there, but you know. Anyway, we'll talk about that a little more
All right.
after our break.
Okay.
I do want to thank our winter underwriters for making our series happen, paralleling the ski season. We've got Haiti Children, Highlands Ale House, Klug Properties, Paradise Bakery, Picken County Solid Waste Center, Red Brick Center for the Arts, Susie's Consignment Aspen, Sundog Athletics, White River Overland, and the Wheeler Opera House. Thank you guys so much for supporting this series, featuring inspirational locals all winter, including Jeannie, Walla this week. We'll be right back. We just have a 2-minute break, guys, our only break of the show. And we're going to come back with Jeannie, Walla, get updated on what's going on at Susie's and what you can enjoy this summer, so don't go away. At the Wheeler Opera House, we set the stage for connections that create memories for our audiences, artists, and greater Aspen community. At the Wheeler Opera House, all are welcome. You're welcome to be a part of history.
I'm so passionate about this community. I absolutely love living here and raising my family here. It gives me a lot of pride to share this with my friends and my clients and help them achieve their dreams of owning an Aspen snowmass and enjoying this incredible lifestyle.
Want to live like a local? Help us reduce food waste, a major contributor to climate change.
You can help in 3 simple ways.
Plan menus carefully and only buy what you need.
Collect unused scraps for compost.
Buy ugly fruits and vegetables.
Reduce food waste.
Live like a local.
Red Brick Center for the Arts is Aspen's hub for creative activity, offering youth and adult art classes, gallery exhibitions, artist studios, and nonprofits. You can take a class, meet with artists, purchase art, and be a part of Aspen's art scene. More at redbrickaspen.com. Locally owned and operated and consistently voted #1 for après-ski, Highlands Ale House is the local ski bar, serving delicious drinks and comfort food, including pizza, burgers, salads, bowls, and more. Located at the base of Aspen Highlands. Brought to you by Paradise Bakery and Gelateria, serving Aspen for 42 years. White River Overland specializes in camper van upfitting, catering to mountain outdoor enthusiasts. WRO's builds are purpose-driven to enhance skiing, cycling, camping, climbing, and river adventures. WRO is nestled in the White River National Forest in Aspen.
Susie's Consignment in Aspen at 600 East Main. Same friendly faces, same great prices, and new items daily. See you at Susie's.
Welcome to the local show. People you work with, people you know.
Thanks for sticking with us here in the local show. Guys, we're in March and springtime. Such an exciting time of year, Jeannie.
I love this time of year. I love St. Patrick's Day. It
so
just
fun.
indicates it's spring.
Well, first I have to say, since you mentioned St. Patrick's Day, did you go to St. Mary's Church for the 137th or 138th annual?
138th. Did I go? Are you kidding?
You probably
I'm the one
live
who-
for that.
I am the one. I didn't run it this year. I've run it
Have you done it
more
in the
than
past?
anybody else.
Oh my gosh.
And this year, I was only in charge of getting the gravy made, the meat cooked, and seating people.
That's pretty crucial.
I know.
All three of those items, especially the gravy. So
Well-
I was the gravy guy at family Thanksgivings when all our relatives got together. They'd send me into the kitchen and I'd go
You're a
make the
gravy
gravy.
maker?
Yeah, so
Well,
I'd
why don't you
remove
come
the
and-
turkey. I'd use the what do they call the drippings, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
mix in a little Wondra and some seasonings, and so maybe you could
Eric-
rope me in.
Eric, if you don't volunteer for St. Patrick's Day next year,
I used to. So for several years, I was one of the bartenders. So and I was a waiter a couple years too.
well, you're welcome
So maybe I
to
need
come
to
and do
step
any
up
of
to
those.
gravy guy.
Yeah, gravy master.
Gravy master.
Yeah, that's in a little bottle.
So let's get back into the Susie's experience because people, including myself, have had these really fun experiences. It's like social. You guys are so fun to like talk to, be guides to where the best, and most appropriate, clothing is and the best value, and maybe even haggle a little bit on the price.
Oh, every once in a while if we have to.
Yeah, well, certain locals kind of know they can work it a little bit, maybe get a couple bucks off. But you've had some pretty outstanding experiences, including a recent
You know what?
customer.
I had a customer that was such an interesting story. I asked him to record it, and Jeremy's got it. And
Oh my gosh.
let's listen.
Yeah, let's just take a listen here. A recent customer experience.
Ready?
I love
What am I gonna say?
Get nervous. Say, hey, my name's Charlie.
Okay, can I go in this? Can I go in this room?
Yeah.
There's so many people. Hello, my name is Matthew. So I came into Susie's today looking because I come in weekly and I have matching Aztec pants to this cream color, and then I walk in the store today and they have the matching jacket and it's 2 seasons old, so I couldn't find it anywhere online and I found it.
So that was really fun because we got the inside scoop while the guy was in the shop.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, he was so dazzled. He was beside himself. And, to be on this hunt for 2 years for this product, and there it is. And he was like willing to pay the earth because he
Super.
wanted this so much. And there it was at Susie's. It was like a miracle.
It's kind of like Hallelujah Choir, the sun's rays break through the
Exactly.
clouds, and
Exactly.
they're singing
It was-
the glorious moment.
Oh, he's going to die a happy man.
So that's what it shows the fun, you know, and and it's exciting to find these little gems, right? What's the most fun thing you found, like for yourself?
Personally?
Yeah, I mean, that's probably got to be
God.
a thought-provoking, because you probably found a bunch of stuff over the years.
It's like, how do I decide?
Look at that jacket or whatever, those pants or that outfit.
Well, I'll tell you something. I acquired a jacket when I was doing the play Always Patsy Cline. That was, you know, like that leather with, you know, fringe and beading and a high collar.
Oh my gosh.
And I wore it every time I've done Always Patsy Cline. There's an opportunity to wear it during that. And I don't remember how much I paid for it, but that jacket owes me nothing. We're cool.
You've really got some good use and some good fun out of that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it just fit the character.
It's
like
a beauty.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's very Patsy Cline.
And you know, I've gotten one of my favorite items I got was like a $12 Patagonia sweatshirt that was like new with tags. And I think it had been initially like 30 or 40, but then it was there for a little while, so it got marked down. And can you tell about kind of like how that works with like the pricing? Like, how do you set the pricing, and kind of how does that work?
Well, in something that we can look up.
Yeah. Okay.
Online, you know, something with a label like a Patagonia jacket. We look it up, and for the most part, brand new with tags, it's about 30% of retail.
Okay.
But if it's not brand new, there's a discount for that.
Sure.
And, you know, we examine it, and there are things that are less than 100%. And so now when somebody brings in something for consignment, we have to honor the consignor, of course.
So they initially might say, hey, I'd like $50 for this or something, and then
sometimes
you guys
we prefer not to do that.
Okay.
We prefer to set the price.
Okay.
And we explain to them that we're setting a price to sell.
Yeah.
And we want it to, you know, go, not
Exactly.
hang around. So somebody brings in a product. It's on the floor for 30 days. After 30 days, it goes to half.
Okay.
And after 45 days, there's a chance that it's going to go to charity. And we support countless charities up and down the valley, and as far as Rifle.
That is awesome.
And people who are really needy and who really appreciate things. We really help out lots of families.
And then the person, obviously, when they inquire, hey, did you sell this item, or how much did you get for this item? You say, well, it was here over 45 days, so we donated it.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But they kind of know that ahead of time,
That's
right?
part of the
But
contract.
that's possible.
That's the contract that they signed to begin with. So they're aware.
Now, are you accepting spring and summer items now? Spring items.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're not taking any more winter.
No more winter.
So,
Okay.
yeah, just spring.
And anyone can bring stuff down anytime they like, or how do you accept these items?
Well, people need to open an account, and that's how they learn, you know, the rules and the regulations of Susie's. So, and then it's people have to bring things that are clean and folded and are in good shape. You know, we don't want things with stains or tears.
Yeah, joints still in the pocket, you know, no.
We might make an exception for that.
Yeah. It is all legalized now, so you know, consider it a gratuity.
And so it's
so clean, folded, you know.
Yeah, and in style and in season, and that's kind of it. So yeah.
What about shopper tips? Like if someone's coming into Susie's for the first time, I know there's the guys' room is kind of back there to the left.
Yeah.
But what would be some tips for a new shopper to Susie's to find the best gems for them?
When people say to me, I went to Susie's once and I didn't find anything, I say, well, that's what happens when you come to Susie's once. And when people are visiting, I tell them come every other day.
Yep.
Because we get stuff every day, and we get great stuff. And this is a funny thing that'll happen. Somebody will say to me, I was here yesterday and this wasn't here. And I say, well, that's why you have to keep coming back.
Exactly. You got to keep it. It's like replay sports. Down where Brad's got
Same
his consignment,
deal.
you got to be consistent if you really want to find those deals. Because, of course, the deals go quickly.
Yeah.
You know, the cool stuff.
The great
you
stuff.
want a new Patagonia or a new Obermeyer or whatever the case may be. You know, I've
Yeah.
got my heart set on certain stuff as a guy that I like to wear. And
Yeah.
the Levi's and the Patagonia and the Obermeyer. And I target in and zero in on those items.
Exactly.
And-
And we also get Prada and
exactly.
Valentino. And, you know, there isn't a designer that we haven't got an item from their line.
So
Chanel,
that's a big aspect because people looking for that designer quality
Exactly.
should probably start at Susie's instead, unless they want to pay 10 times more or whatever. But they're
Well-
a great place to start, right? If you're
Yeah.
looking for designer clothing.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So
So
that's
we get the good stuff.
that's a real,
And if it's not good quality, we don't keep it.
What do you love the most? Like, what do you love the most?
I love
with
the
working
people.
Susie's.
I love the people that I work with from the top down. Everybody is mellow, fun, friendly, compassionate. You know, I mean, we've been through a lot of stuff with one another.
Yeah.
It's-
Well, the
it's
whole
not-
COVID thing too, right? I mean,
Going
so
through
many
COVID,
challenges.
we've had family things happen, and
Right.
you know, it's a great, lots of camaraderie, and like I said, it's like Cheers.
Right.
The discussions that you have with your consigners. You know, we're part. That's a part of a family.
I've heard some ladies like to go in there when they come back to Aspen, say they're part-time homeowners or they're visitors, but they're regulars,
Yeah.
to get caught up on the gossip. Is that true? Should they maybe stop by to see what the latest is?
I don't like calling it gossip.
Now,
To
okay,
me,
what would you like?
gossip has that dark connotation.
Okay, just the latest.
The news.
The latest news.
Yeah,
Inside.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes.
yeah. And we can keep a secret.
So how has Marley both maintained what's made Susie's great, and what are a few things that she's changed?
Well, we have a computer.
Oh,
If
oh
you
my
can
gosh.
believe this,
Whoa.
in this day and age, when we're 25% of the way through this next century, we now have computers.
Stepping up.
Yeah, and that's
Like a big square box type, like the Mac, like the
Like-
original Mac.
like a wand that you pick up and it's brrr.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So modernizing some of the technology.
Absolutely. And, you know, Marley went through the store and did new flooring and new walls and bright white kind of decor. And, you know, she's an innovator and she wants to put her mark on the store and let it feel, because people would walk in and say, what happened?
what
What's different?
Exactly.
You know?
What's different? Something's going on here.
Yeah.
How is it an interaction with Marley and Susan now? Susan Harvey, the former owner, when Susan comes in, is that just
They're both
beautiful?
working today.
Are they?
It's a lovely arrangement.
As good as it ever was.
It really is, yeah. And
That's awesome.
people are so happy to meet Marley, and she's so accommodating, and there's hardly any kind of there's no friction.
Right.
There was no that was in the old days. It's everything's new and everything's a lot like it was.
So what is it with you guys? And I want to ask about the thrift shop, but they only hire women. But what's up with Susie's seemingly only hiring women? Is there a system there?
I don't think
Or does
there's
it just happen to end up that way?
I don't think there's a dictum. I think
Okay.
it's just been that guys haven't applied.
Guys haven't applied, or they just haven't been a match with kind of the
Yeah.
philosophy or the business
And
model.
unfortunately, guys don't shop. So, as a rule.
Right.
And so the women do more of the buying in the men's department.
Right.
And men don't consign. They don't have that kind of thinking. So we
Right.
have a great men's department. And if there's a guy out there who hasn't visited Susie's, who would like to see the amazing products that we have, you're welcome.
Well, let's dig into that a little bit, because I feel like I shop differently as a man, and I seem to be generally quicker in and out of Susie's. Like, I'll have a certain thing in my mind. I mean, I know women come into with maybe certain items they'd like to find, but can you talk about that, like men and women shoppers, and maybe some primary differences?
There are lots of different kinds of people, and when you say you as a man go in there and you come with a need and you're like, this is what I'm looking for, I hope I find it.
Yeah, yeah.
Women come with a sense of adventure. It's like a treasure hunt.
Okay.
And
a general treasure hunt. Like.
And yet, I've had couples shop there, and the guy will say, honey, look at this. Try this on. And the wife will say, he finds the best stuff for me.
Wow.
He knows what I look good in. He knows what fits me, and I hate to shop. So it happens both ways.
Would that be a good tip, do you think, for men to join their wives more often for shopping? Do you think
Depends
that's a
on
good
the guy.
thing?
I'm not
it's a really individual couple thing.
I don't need John Walla to tell me what I look good in.
Should we give John a shout out too?
Why don't we?
Shout out to John, Jeannie's husband.
Ski instructor.
Volunteer
golf coach to kids. Aspen Junior Golf. And
oh my gosh.
An all-around great husband.
Such a nice guy.
When I tell you how much schlepping he did over St. Patrick's Day.
Oh my gosh.
Set up the sound system so you could hear Irish music everywhere.
So he was helping at St. Mary's as well.
Absolutely. And I sing there.
That's right.
So
I've kind of taken a little break in recent years, partially because of COVID and whatnot. But yeah, St. Mary's is just such a wonderful institution in Aspen.
It really is.
The families that are in there, like the Callahans and the Kellahers and you guys and the Merolds. It's like just like who's who of Aspen. It's so fun and such a family spot.
Yeah.
But let's move back to a 34-year business. We're down to just a couple minutes, but I've run a business for a number of years. Others are looking to either start or maintain their businesses. What are maybe 2 or 3 tips like for success if you wanted to run a long time business, with sustainability?
Be kind.
I like that.
I also volunteer at the thrift shop. In the thrift shop, there's a sign, and it's the Dalai Lama, and it says, "Be kind whenever possible. It is always possible."
I had a feeling you were going to go there.
Yeah.
Exactly, which is such a big point.
Yeah, nobody wants to go and be mistreated.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how many times people will come in and report that they've been some other business, and I'm not going to name names, of course, and they said, and they were so mean to me. Yeah. They were so unkind, and there's really no place for that.
Yeah, exactly. Especially in Aspen, where it's supposed to be about hospitality and fun and welcoming and warmth and to see, so be kind, number one, and just treat people, golden rule, right?
Yeah.
Do unto others.
And then my brother-in-law always points this one out to me. He says, I can tell you how to make a small fortune. You start with a really large fortune.
Then you act unkind?
No, why would you be unkind?
Or you just hang out in Aspen for 2 weeks and the fortune just goes away.
Exactly. Yeah. Start a business.
Well, Jeannie, did you have fun on the show today? I baked you some cookies this morning.
Oh, come on.
They might still be warm. Look at the chocolate's kind of melty. So that's a good sign. Just a small token of my appreciation.
Oh, Erik, I'm going to take these back to the store and share them with Susie and Marley and the girls.
It's up to you. I'm giving you full management control.
Thank you very much.
And
I'm honored.
Did you have fun on the show today?
Absolutely. I haven't laughed this hard since, this morning while I was working at Susie's.
Well, I'd love to have you back sometime. I'm really honored. This has been so much fun.
It's been great. I loved it.
And thank Marley for me as well.
Absolutely.
And if you want to share the cookies, that might be like your job forever. Unless I blew it, then she may fire you.
Okay.
But it's totally up to you.
Hopefully not.
Maybe just do one for quality control.
But let me just shout out and ask people to come. If you haven't had the Susie's experience, come and see what we're all about. I think you'll have fun.
Thank you so much, Jeannie, Walla.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you guys for watching This Week on the Local Show, and check us out next week. At the Wheeler Opera House, we set the stage for connections that create memories for our audiences, artists, and greater Aspen community. At the Wheeler Opera House, all are welcome. You're welcome to be a part of history.
I'm so passionate about this community. I absolutely love living here and raising my family here. It gives me a lot of pride to share this with my friends and my clients and help them achieve their dreams of owning an Aspen snowmass and enjoying this incredible lifestyle.
Join the string beans in helping reduce food waste in our community.
Plan menus carefully and only buy what you need.
Collect unused scraps for compost.
Ask for smaller portions in restaurants.
Take home leftovers to eat later.
Donate unopened food to our food bank.
Let's work in concert to reduce food waste.
Sundog Athletics, Aspen's adventure sports school and snowshoeing specialists since 1996.
Welcome to